This is a 10-pound bag of potatoes that we got from the store, and we use these for a lot of different things. I think there's probably about 25 or 26 potatoes in this bunch here, and I think we probably had maybe 5 or 6 more so that we've already used out of here. So I'm thinking probably about 30 potatoes in a 10-pound bag.
This 10-pound bag ran us only $3.29, I think, at Aldi, but this is Thanksgiving time, so they probably had it on sale. We were just thinking about all the different ways that you can cook potatoes and add them for side items to a meal. If you're living on a tight budget, this would be something that you could keep in mind and still have one food item but have a whole lot of variety to go with. So today we're going to show you how Kevin cooks fried potatoes that we can serve with so many different meals, even different times of the day. So pay attention. We'll probably have many more of these videos on potatoes. And yeah, give us your ideas of what you do with potatoes too.
Hi everybody. Well, today I'm going to show you another way to cook potatoes. When we were growing up, my mother always cooked fried potatoes. And so I'm going to show you how we did it when we were growing up. And of course you start out by peeling them and get all these peelings off of here. And by the way, we keep these peelings probably, and we'll put them in our compost down there. We usually put a lot of stuff in our compost, food-wise, whenever we cook something. If we have any leftovers or anything like that. So, get this off of here. All right. Okay, so once we get these things like that, I need to wash this off probably, just to get any extra dirt off of it. After we get it to this stage, then what I do is I split them. This is one of the things I think that Carol learned from me when we first got married, of how we cook potatoes at our house growing up. I cut them in quarters like that, and then I start cutting them into small pieces. I try to cut them in pretty small pieces because it cooks a lot faster when you put them in the frying pan and start to fry them. If you got a big chunk of potato and then some small ones or whatever, that big chunk's going to take a lot longer than the little ones do. And so it's just a faster thing to try to get these all about the same size. They don't have to be exactly, but pretty close. Anyway, so there we go. I get those babies down to like that right there, about that size, and they're ready to be put into the frying pan. Okay. All right, we got these cut up. We're ready to put them into the frying pan. So I'm going to put a little bit of cooking oil in here, and what I usually do is just put enough to cover the bottom of the pan. And you just have to experiment with this sometimes. You don't want a whole lot. There we go. That should be enough. Can always go back and add more if we need to. All right, let's get this turned on. Which one am I doing? I could do it right here.
Yeah. So
I'll set this at high, on high temperature, to get the oil to heat up. And once it gets hot, what I'll usually do is stand here and wait for it. And when I see it start to kind of little bubble a little bit, I'll drop one of these potatoes in there. And if it starts to sizzle, then I know it's hot enough. One of the things that we used to get when we were kids too, when my mother would make these, is, and this is I think a southern thing, is she would give us a piece of potato and we would put salt on it and just eat it raw.
oh my goodness.
Those are very good. Yes, Carol doesn't think that sounds so hot, but it was good. We liked it. So whenever mother was cooking potatoes and frying something in the kitchen, if we were home, we would always go in the kitchen and say, hey, can I have a piece of potato? And she'd always give us a little piece or whatever. So yeah, we would do stuff like that when we were kids. It was good. We survived. Okay, while I'm waiting for this oil to heat up here, some of the things that we usually serve these with is sometimes if Carol and I are cooking like fish or something like that, on a Saturday night after we've been at the farm and we're too tired to cook something real involved. We just cook some of these and we'll fix them with the fish. You can also cut them up real small if you want to and make them into like a little small potato like you would get in a restaurant for breakfast. So these can be a good breakfast food as well. You can eat. We like to eat them with ketchup when we fry them. Some of the other things that you can eat these with is barbecue pork, or sandwiches of some kind, barbecue sandwiches. We like to do that. And so there are several different ways you can eat these fried potatoes. All right, I'm going to see if this is hot because it looks like it might be starting to get there almost, but not quite. But it's about to be. Okay, so this is starting to sizzle, as you can see right there. So it's probably hot enough to go ahead and put these in. And we'll just push these guys right into the oil. There we go.
I just about filled up that skillet.
It just about did, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more there than I thought there was. Okay. So we'll let these cook and get real hot. And then I usually go back and turn my heat down because I don't want them to cook too fast. If they cook too fast, then they start to turn brown and they get crunchy real quick. We like them a little bit softer actually when we cook them. And one of the tricks to this is to keep them turned a lot. So what I'll do is I'll just go in here like this and just flip them over. Rather than to let them sit and cook for a few minutes like you would do with hash browns or something like that. You want to kind of keep them turned pretty often so they don't turn brown on you. If they cook too fast, they turn brown, and then all of them don't get done. So I'm going to turn this down to this one. I'll go about halfway and see what that does. And I'm constantly sort of doing this, poking them with this thing to see how soft they are. And that's kind of how I tell how done they're getting. If they get real soft when I do this, then I know they're pretty close to being done.
Looks like they're sort of getting more transparent when they get cooked.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. This one right here. This part up here is lighter, and then down here it's still the dark white. The lighter part is the part that's getting done already. And they do that whenever they start to, as they cook, they start to turn, like you said, a little bit transparent almost. And that's another way you can tell. You can see that little one right there. It's got a little white spot in the middle, but the rest of it's just not done. So yeah, it doesn't usually take a long time to do this. Pretty quick process, really. And I'm just constantly moving them, constantly stirring them, keeping them moving. Because I don't want them to turn brown and get crusty. Now, if you like them brown and crusty, then that's okay. But for us, we like them a little bit softer.
Just brown on the edges.
Yeah, just a little bit brown around the edges. Usually, we try to get them that way. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think these are just about done. Get my plate up here. Put a paper towel on the plate to soak up some of the grease and the oil. Sometimes they get a little brown around the edges, and sometimes they don't. This time they just happen to not.
But they are cooked through. They're soft in the middle, you can tell.
Yeah, they are very soft, and so they are definitely done. So we're going to take these off here.
They are going to share our plates with bacon tonight and some fried eggs, so trying to keep the bacon going at the same time here. You hear it popping.
Okay, there we go. All right, those are ready.
And here's the end result on our plates. Fried eggs, crispy bacon, and our yummy fried potatoes. This'll make a good supper.